Display 6 please. Okay, should work. Let's see. What's the beginning? Looks better.
Yeah.
So, apparently I'm supposed to speak about success stories today, so I had to scratch my mind to figure out what success looks like. So for a little company, every sale we make is a success. And we measure success by the fewest calls we get back from the customers. We like to see customers with smiles on their faces, which means they don't talk to us. So that's usually the way it goes. You put something new in and they talk to you all the time, and then hopefully they go away because the stuff is working. So that's in some way how we measure success. Not talking to our customers until they want something new. Because they always want something new. And that's the nature of technology. So I'm about making things work here and now. A lot of what we're hearing about is sort of, I was very interested in some of the other speakers' stuff, how we can automate some of this process of tagging and bagging, we call it, in our world. But we have to make things work now, and we have to deal with human beings now. So I'm going to try and tell you about 2 stories for 2 different customers, and these are the newer deployments and the newer thinking. So I'm going to show you some of the older stuff, and then explain to you why we moved on, why our thinking had to change. Because I think that's probably appropriate in a forum like this, which is looking for new things. What's coming next? What's coming next? But we live in the real world. So most of this stuff is what I think. And in my company, I'm the product manager, so what I think is what I try and make. And we look at our customers and see what they're telling us. It's always a good idea to talk to your customers and hear what they're saying, what problems they're having. Every time you make something new, you give them hopefully some enhancement to their workflows. But sometimes after a year or so they come back and say, hey, you could make this better. So you listen to them. So these are my sort of views, and we're supposed to talk about success. So this one I'm quite proud of, because this was when I would show you the traditional workflow very quickly, and then they came with a new thing. For the Olympics, we had to come up with a new thing. Sorry for the space. So I will explain to you why it had to be new, why it had to upset the traditional type of plan, which I'm very much associated with. So we did that one, and then 5 years later, 4 years later, it was 5 years in development terms, I went to Rio, and I just come back from Rio, and we put exactly the same system into Rio. And I took that to be a success, because it meant we got it pretty much right first time around for 2012. And every time you do the Olympics are the most complicated broadcasting jobs on the planet. Every 4 years it goes mad. And every 4 years everyone tries to raise the bar. They raise the bar, and we have more cameras, we have more, bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, a lot of the challenges of the Olympics are essentially everything's happening everywhere. It's happening on multiple sites. And we are just part of a very, very small cog in a very big machine. You have to deliver multiple versions to multiple clients all over the planet. And if you think the Olympics is about, celebration of the human endeavor, higher, faster, stronger, it's not really, in TV terms, it's about seeing our guy win. So the Americans aren't really interested in seeing a Russian guy win. They want to see their guy win. So that means in broadcasting terms, we have to make different packages for different parts of the country. So the Olympics is owned by the Olympics Committee, but there's always a host broadcaster. So for Fox Sport, in Rio it was Fox Sports. Now, Luis, who's head of the whole project, led what we did in 2012, and he came and contacted me and said we need the same system. Because the problem hadn't changed. The problems I was trying to solve hadn't changed. And this is the slide I showed you yesterday, and it's still essentially the whole story in production. I'm about making content and getting content to web. So just as well as I have it, it's about creating from pre-production to production, and it's creating content that many of the people who've spoken are saying how do you get it to where, different ways of doing it. So I'm going to show you traditional MAM workflow. It doesn't matter what type of MAM it is. They basically do these things. So I'm going to switch into my MAM, which is called CapTV. And we're going to try and talk about what we do traditionally and why we changed it. So this is my MAM, CapTV. And basically the workflows go like this. This thing on your left represents your file system. And essentially you bring in pieces of media, and it says, yes, okay. Tells me I'm not allowed. It tells me I'm not licensed. Not licensed my own stuff. Let's try again. Which one did I told you we were going to try and break this. Okay. So it's logging onto the server. Oh dear. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Connect. We'll do the other one. Okay. So this is my file system. Somewhere on my desktop I've got some media. And some of the media. Sample media. Oh, that's not right. Okay, we'll bring some stuff in. So we bring in stuff into the system, and basically we do some analysis of the media. And these are our files, and we can play them as pretty much as you expect. But why do we have a separate piece of software when we could be playing this stuff inside an area like Premiere or Flash? Well, one of the reasons we have it is because we can harvest metadata from within these files. So this on the right represents all the metadata we harvest from the files. So we can pick up GPS, we can pick up creation dates, we can pick up all kinds of information. Now, back in the day, as we say, I used to think this was the answer to it. This harvested metadata about the media assets was the answer to the problem. And we were very successful in selling this idea. But when I came to the Olympics, it wasn't going to work. And the reason it wasn't working, I'm not saying it's not dispensable with, but it's because of the way people think about their media in production. We have hundreds of media asset files in production, and we tend to think of them in batch terms. Now, in traditional now, what we essentially do is we add metadata inside our central database. So we've harvested this embedded metadata, but then we add other fields, and it's basically logging information. Okay? Logging information is it Usain Bolt? Who is the name of the guy? Is it an interview? All sort of things that people then can search on. Yeah? And that's traditional MAM. So the idea is basically we end up with a database that encompasses all the information we know about this production. And when we go to archive, and I'll show you archive in a second, it appears very simple. What we're doing is very simple. But when it came to the Olympics, it wasn't answering the questions that the people in production were asking. And I'll try and explain that. So here we have media, and we can build proxies, which is traditional. So let's go here, build proxy movies. And what it's doing now, it's making a H.264 proxy. We like H.264 proxies because they're smaller, but they're in fact clones of the original media. But they're much smaller. They have the same time code tracks, they have the same things. Proxy, they can stand in place of the original assets. So this is building it, this is quite a long clip. And this is one of the downsides of building proxies. It's one of those things that, in this case, it's locking up the system. People don't want to do it. So what really people want to do, and what we did for them in the Olympics, is we automated the whole process. Automation is the key to a lot of what we do. But you can only achieve automation if you have consistency. People, in simple terms, people have to put stuff in the right place. If it goes to the right place, we can detect it, we can pick it up, we know what it's for, we can do things. Yeah. So, that's built a proxy, and essentially that proxy is living, I made it on my desktop, I'll show you. We made two simple folders, so we have a proxy over here. So we have that proxy that's being generated here, and it has the same file path relative to the media. So you can see the whole file path structure there. If I reveal the source, you can see basically, it basically has a similar file path. Now I can play that proxy and I can archive this stuff. So let's try and do an archive because this is traditional now. And we have tools here. I say archive media files. It says where I want to put it. I want to put it over there. And I can send these files to archive. When we send these files to archive, what we do is we purge the high-res media and we leave the proxy online. Now for a lot of you, one I've been talking to over the last couple of years, this is one of these are the things you really want to do. You bring in your assets, the finished media, you add some metadata, and then you archive it, and you end up with a database, and you end up with proxies online that are searchable, but much, much smaller. And you move them across your network so people can find your assets. And there's nothing at all wrong with that, but it doesn't answer the questions that I was asked for the Olympics. Okay. So what's different? What did we have to do differently for the Olympics that TACTV couldn't do? So the perception goes back to some of the workflows I showed you yesterday, which was this notion of centralization. This notion that we bring in all the media, it comes through the hole in the wall, and we have a guy who has to check in the media, he has to have metadata, and he does all those things. For the Olympics, this will not work. For high-end sports, it won't work because it's happening like this. So this is traditional. If you have time, this is a good way of doing it. Yeah? But it takes time. In the Olympics, you have no time. But the principles of what we're doing are the same. We need ways of getting metadata. We need to know where stuff is going. We need to manage the media assets. So this is traditional. This is what NASCAR does, still doing, but it wouldn't work for the Olympics. So essentially, what would work for the Olympics? So what we're seeing here is centralized ingest. That would not work for the Olympics. Why? Because stuff is happening all the time. People are coming in with stuff from the field. It's my no tapes anymore, it's SD drives or CF cards. And they go straight to the edit suites because they're in a hurry. There is no time. Right? So this would get in the way. So what we had to give up with this notion of centralized ingest. Okay? And this is traditional and almost fundamental to every man we have. We centralized ingest because we couldn't trust the people to put it in the right place. If they don't put it in the right place, we can't automate. So always very simple things. So this would not work. So what would work? So I was given the problems by my friend Chris, my friend and business partner Chris Green, and we had to come up with a different way of doing things. So what I came up with was what we can now call focal point server. Now, focal point server has a lot of the same elements as that because the principles don't change. They have to be accessible to people with a maximum, 5 minutes training. So this was the other biggest problem when I was given a 60-page workflow document and said, these are the rules. This is what has to happen because the Olympics is complicated. Right? We're creating multiple versions for multiple countries and it's complicated. So versioning is very, very important. So how could we get this stuff to work? So basically I came up with a system that stood man completely on its head. And my reasoning went like this. It has to be distributed because we have to bring the stuff in from everywhere. It has to be accessible to the users in 5 minutes of training because we have hundreds of freelancers. No TV station, for a TV station, the Olympics is like a big spike in the chart. It's a digital tsunami. They will not keep all these people on staff that they need to service the Olympics. After the Olympics, they do not require them. So it's typically freelance. A freelance coming into the building knows nothing about the infrastructure. The infrastructure of BBC Sports, and it was very, very similar in Rio, was we had quantum storage, and BBC we had harmonic media grid. BBC had Final Cut 7, Rio we had Premiere. But we still had hundreds and hundreds of new users to the system. So this is how I train people. We say you go to focal point, and focal point, as its name, is the center of the thing. It's where you start everything up. And it's a very, very simple interface, because my design brief to myself was how could I make something simple that did everything that man traditionally does. So all systems, and this is the whole of it, and this is did Rio and BBC, we need some information. We always need information. Computers live or die on information. But I'm not going to focus this time on media assets so much. I'm going to focus on projects. Because if you think about it, and this is what occurred to me, in traditional man, like Captivity, what we're doing is we're focusing on media assets. If I want to save this, we give it a name. So we could call it 100 meters, right? And we say that to the system, and that is a named object that is pointing at these media objects. Okay. Now, traditional man goes like this. We bring in media, we make a folder, we give it a name, we put the media in the folder, we take media out of the folder, we put it in the man, we do a lot of typing, and then we take it out of the man, we take it to our NOV. But we use our man as our central repository. But we essentialized that it was going to get in the way because no one actually wants to log stuff. Yeah. And this is a centralized system. Focal point is a distributed system. So how does it work? So I get some information, and these are the BBC's real tags. And we said, okay, who are you working for? So I'm working on football. I'm working for a show called Football Focus or something. So it's football or fencing. And we have different types of shows. We were about version. So maybe we have the whole show, which is an hour long. But then we need to do an interview with Usain Bolt from the end of the show, and we give it to news. But radio wanted it as well. And we also have in the BBC, we have web platforms. So as many of your speakers have alluded to, we have multiple deliverables now to multiple platforms and multiple countries. And we have different size versions. So life is getting very, very complicated for us, but we're trying to keep it simple. So okay, we'll do a highlights package in this instance. And we'll call it the 100 meters. Fine. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is we are computer systems. So we take all these tags, and this is all we need to find everything, these tags. Get a few more other things, because we're doing some sneaky stuff in the background. We figure out who the user is. We figure out which edit suite they're in. But we turn these tags into tokens. In some databases, tokenization makes things very, very quick. And in the administrative side of Focal Point, we have these unique IDs. This is how it really works. Yeah? So you're almost trained because you've almost done the job. And we create this object, the 100 meters file. But anybody who knows anything about media assets, and it doesn't matter whether it's surveillance or anything, there has to be a place on the servers, the file system, where you put the stuff. Now, Focal Point is a rule-based system, and in the back of the system, we've already created for you, let me show you, all these nice little folders. All these nice little folders, custom icons, And on the sand, in the right place, for every job, we create a folder. Okay? So the user doesn't know where to put stuff. When you change which department you're working for, it goes somewhere different. So basically we're teasing out, we're classifying our data, but we're using the editors to do it for us. Very unlike a map. Yeah? So the editors are directing the data to the correct silos, but they don't know they're doing it because we're doing that. It's rules. We have rules. Now another thing we're doing, so okay, this object then becomes the gateway for the media. Now most people in media and in schools and in the Olympics, the only thing we actually refer to when we're doing the job is who's doing the 100 meters final. That's the name of the show. That is how we classify our data. Because if you're doing very fast-moving stuff, this is the only thing. We have to keep it simple, because if you've ever done outside broadcasting, it's incredibly complicated at times with 73 cameras and super slow. But in order to communicate, a director has to keep things simple. He'll say, roll camera, go camera 3, camera 2, so roll VTR 1, blah, blah, blah. He will not make nice, polite statements. He will just ask what he gets. It's very simple statements. So we've made these folders for you, and then these are the real tools in production that people are using. I'm not going to make another Avid, or too small a company. I'm not going to make another Premiere. I'm not going to make another Photoshop. These have taken long, long time in their creation, and they're hugely good tools. And this is what people know. But I'm going to glue them all together. So if you to make TV, you need graphics, you need audio. If you're going to make these things, we're going to use them in our websites as well. We only want to create them once. But it's the project, unlike the man, that's going to do it all together. So, okay, let's try Premiere, because Premiere is now becoming much more prevalent. Now the BBC, because they're cross-platform, version 1 for the web could be different from version 15 for TV, because they're different, and they have different sizes. If you're making something for the web, you'll make it much smaller and you'll encode it in H.264. But if you're making it for TV, it could be HD, it could be 4K. It's a different thing. But the key to compression is always to access the highest resolution to begin with. So we compressed from the 4K we were shooting. And we compressed from the 4K for the web, so we had high quality web stuff. We also stole audio from this stuff for Radio 5 Live, which is the BBC Sports channel. So we're repurposing the same media, we're not recording it, but we're re-encoding it. So what they wanted to do here was basically say, yes, it's for the Olympics, yes, it's for football focus, yes, it is football, and they want to make sure that we have a new version for a different platform. That's why we have this. We don't necessarily need it, but let's call it Cairo. Okay, when we create Cairo, two things happen, for our editor at least. What's happened is we template, we make folders for the editor. We give him station names. We create a timeline. We set his caches. We set everything in this NOV to put to the right place. The folder we created to begin with. These are things that people get wrong in fast-moving things. If they get wrong, we get media files of the wrong size. And therefore we can't play them to where. We can't play them to where we're in trouble. Now if you try and teach 100 people the rules as they come through the door, you're in trouble. So focal point is managing that type of thing. So if we have a different department, this could be an SD show, and we've made a timeline right. Another benefit of doing all these things is our rendering times, because we always have to render out our shows, go right down, because we can predict them. Sports is always going very close to the top of the hour. So if you've got a 5-minute feature, you need to predict that we can render it out in 2 minutes, because we will always go to the wire. If you've got inappropriate settings or your media isn't right thing, your rendering times go through the roof and you can't deliver. And delivering is everything. So where is this project though? Okay, so under the 100 meters, we now have a premier project that's under the umbrella of the Cairo project. How do we search for stuff? Well, we search for only stuff that's changed in the last 2 minutes. If you look at computer systems, we have lists and lists and lists. We have thousands of objects in these lists. And it's too much data for us to process. So we filter it out to our user can only see the things he's interested in. He can see stuff in TV that's changed in the last 10 minutes. Producers want to see stuff that's changing. They want to know a job has started. So they can see from this system that the job has started, it's ongoing. They can also see the status of jobs. This is another big difference between phone point and project, or what we're now calling a WAM, is essentially jobs have different statuses as they progress through the system. Some are completed, some are waiting approval, some are waiting for W, some are waiting for more processing. Now we're not talking about media here, but it's inherent because Premier Project is a named object like in a lab, and it references the medium. Okay? So the project file is doing the job of the lab, and what we're doing is we're producing lists of project files. Okay? So it's standing the process on its head. Now, this means if I log in as something else, I can create new versions. Because this already knows that this is going to be version 2, it's counting. Now, if you're another user, it assigns the rights management of that system to the new user. So you can't overwrite other people's work. It's non-destructive, which is another fundamental of what we do. You must not be destructive on a system. But remember, a project file, we talked about some that, and we had a look at CACDB. Let me bring it out so you can remember it. Sorry, try to zoom in so you can see it. So when we went save, in CACDB, we made a named object called Cairo, and we saved it to the database. It references media because it has file paths to the media in its database. Now, a project file in Premiere, this one, also is a named object that has reference to media. Okay? But it has one special property. It knows how to process that media to make the final show. Okay? That's where the work is done. Because you could be inside your NLU, you could be working if you're doing a feature film for 6 months. Now if you lose that project file and you only have the media, you start again. So project file has a special property. It can process your data according to the way it's been put into it. Now what we do is we create lists of these files, and that is how we access. You see, it's now version 2. But when we create version 2, we give you a snapshot of version 1. So you never ever have to redo someone else's work, because when you do net and news and fast-moving stuff, we cheat. We cut and paste other people's work, and we modify and adapt it. And this is how we do things in a hurry. We don't ever go back to the beginning. It's not about media, it's about the projects. If someone has made a show, we can change a shot or two. We don't have to re-render everything that's rendered before. We just change the stuff that is moved, that is updating it. So if you're doing rolling news or these types of things, typically that's how we, in 24-hour news cycles, that's how we behave nowadays. We show someone going into a building in the morning, and then later we get shot of them coming out. We change the voiceover and put the new shot in. But in this workflow, we don't change everything that's been done before. So the other thing that we need to do a lot is create graphics. So we can do the same thing. We can go, yes, this is for the Olympics, blah, 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 whatever. And we go graphics. Because graphics is a hugely important part of making graphics.